So yeah, that's how my weekend went of hunting. I went onto some public land again. Golly, it was so hard. I mean, I know where they're at. It's just trying to be within bow range of when they come through. But when on public land Friday, I had a coyote come out of that bowl. Uh, Three does running behind me. It was a cold morning. I mean, there was frost all over the place on the ground. Um, so it made walking through the woods a little crunchy. Yeah, I did have another guy come up from the river. I don't know how he, like, looking at the map, I don't know where he came from, unless he did take a boat. But I decided to go over to the private land farm. Um, that was a fiasco in itself. Um, I got set up a little different spot than where I hunted the day before, and I wanted to get closer to where the deer were traveling, and I did. But then, right before sunrise, how it's starting to get light, I heard some creaking sound, basically like right where I was at, a little bit higher than where I was strapped into. And I was like, you know what, that sounded a little strange. So, flicked on the light, my headlamp, and I looked up. I'm like, yep, I climbed a dead tree. So, I did not like that one bit. The way it was swaying a little bit too easy in the light breeze that we had. So I rappelled down, grabbed all my stuff, and I walked over 5 yards, sat at some kind of shrubby brush. I broke up my outline. I had some horizontal cover, vertical cover. But then I had two does come out from behind me. And just being able to turn around, I stepped on a twig and they took off running. I mean, I was, 50 yards from where they were, but it was like a tiny branch that I stepped on. I mean, it was the smallest thing, and it made a crack sound, and they took off running. I decided I needed to clear out the ground so that didn't happen again, where I can turn around pretty easily. So I grabbed the grunt call, I started grunting and kicking up all the leaves like I was a buck making a scrape, whatever. Over an hour after I did that, I was like, you know what, I brought some sunflower seeds with me. They're already deshelled. So I opened up the sunflower seeds. I went to go put some in my mouth, and I look over my shoulder, the same spot. There was another. Was that the 6 point that came through? I think it was a 6 point. It saw me. I mean, I tried turning my back to it just ever so slightly. It didn't like what it saw. It looped around, started blowing. I was like, you know what? I give up. I stood up, I looked over to the other side. Here comes another deer. I just. All because I picked a dead tree to climb. So, lesson learned. I won't be doing that again. It's been a rough go, but watching the public land challenge on the Hunt in Public show made me feel better about myself because they weren't having much luck either. Next weekend is, Monday starts the gun season here. So don't know yet if I'm taking out my son if he wants to go, but I'll definitely be out there and give it a try. I know my dad's going to come out to that farm. My brother will be there. He decided not to go to his place up in Clare, but it's all right. Hopefully we'll get some better footage next week. At least somebody will.